Hello and welcome to this Postman tutorial series part 4. In the last part we discussed about Postman UI and the different features and options available. So in this part we are going to create our first API request and we are going to send that request using Postman tool. So let's open Postman and let's see how we can do it. So I have opened Postman application and currently I am using the workspace with the name my workspace. So I am going to create the first request in this particular workspace. So you can see here that this is the canvas wherein we are going to configure the different parameters which are required to send or to invoke any REST or HTTP API. So for this particular example I'm going to go to browser and I'm going to make use of this online REST API. So these are free APIs. You can also use it for the testing or else you can go to Google and search free REST APIs for testing and you can get other online REST APIs also. So on this side there are a few APIs which we can use for our testing purpose. One of them is this users APIs wherein if I search for user number 28, okay, let me see any other user ID which is the existing one. So okay, so 35 is the ID which is the existing one. So if I give this particular URL, then it gives me this particular JSON response. So we are going to hit the same HTTP endpoint from our Postman UI. So let me copy this first and go back to Postman. So you can see in Postman, first let me close it. Yeah, so we can create the new request. Either you can directly click on any of these options here, or we can also go to new, which opens this kind of a window for us. So let's click on creating the basic HTTP request. So when I click on this create basic HTTP request, this particular window gets opened, wherein first thing is selecting HTTP word or HTTP action. So all the possible HTTP verb and actions are available here. In our case we are going to invoke get method. So let me click on get. Next part is about the request URL. So in this case I already have that request URL copied, so let me paste it. And we don't have any other headers or any query parameters over here. In case if you want to add anything, we can add it by clicking on this params button. So for example, if I click on headers, then here I can add a particular key value and a description if I want, or if I want to add any authorization header, then I can similarly do it. If I want to add query parameters, I can do it by this particular tab. So let's click on send. So you can see we receive this response. So you can see we can check body, cookies, headers and test results here. If I select on headers, so you can see the default headers which are received in response. Similarly in cookies we can see we don't have any cookies for this particular request, and in body we have this JSON's body. So you can see the raw response like this, or if we want to format it into different formats, then we have the formatting available for JSON, XML, HTML, text or auto. If the rows are long enough not to fit in this particular window, then you can use this wrap line. So at the moment if I click it, then you can see that this created ad and updated ad comes in a single line. And if I click on this wrap line, then in a single window I can view the response. I don't have to scroll it towards right. I can also copy this particular response here, which copies it to clipboard, or otherwise you can also save this response to an external file, which I don't want to do it at this point of time, but you can store it. One more thing that you would need to note here is the HTTP response. So you can see we got 200 OK response. If you don't know the HTTP codes, then you can Google HTTP response code. So we have a list of different HTTP codes, and every code corresponds to a certain situation, or it represents a certain meaning. Next two things are the response timeout. It also gives some details of those response timeouts. And finally the payload size. So it gives the response payload size, and it also gives what is the size of body and what is the size of headers. Similar information is also available for request. So you can see that in Postman we get this full visibility of the response that we have sent. Similarly, if you want to save this particular request, you can save it from here, or otherwise let's first better save this to a collection. So once I save it, I need to give request name. So let me give the name as get users, and you can save the request only in collections. So let's create one collection here, and let's name it as collection. So I created collection with the name collection A, and under that I saved this get users. So it should be actually get user, not even get users, as we are retrieving the details of a single user. So I saved this. So you can see as soon as I saved it, you can have this collection available over here, and it also shows what are the different requests that are available in this particular collection. We also have this history tab, which shows the request that we have sent till now. So if I send the same request again, you can see we have two entries now created here for the two requests that we have fired to the HTTP endpoint. So similar way, you can, if you have any other APIs, you can put the URL here, you can change the HTTP action, and if it requires any authorization header or any other specific headers, you can add them using this tab, and you can view the response over here. So this is how we can run the simple request in Postman. So in next video we will see into detail what this collection is and what is exactly the benefit that we get by creating the collections. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you again in next video. So do like and subscribe to my channel to get the regular updates about the videos that I post, and you can also check the other videos in my YouTube channel. Thank you.